All right, Shalom. This is Ariel with Yasharallah, down in the Lions Den camp. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Ma'amath. A double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. A double honor to my elder as well, a hard one by Yasharallah down here in the Lions Den camp. A sincere Thawada to the Akim, the Akwathim, and the children who are Banyam, who are pushing the truth and believe it with sincerity. Thawada, Shalom. Uh, this is just a quick. I don't say a quick. Like whenever you say quick lesson, don't be quick. But it's just a lesson. We all go into the Father. Like a week or so ago, my mother, she had died. Her spirit went onto the Father. I really don't like saying died because it's such a it doesn't really do the glory of the transition, because that's all it was a transition, and it was a beautiful transition because she was on life support, and her pulse started getting real faint, and the higher and higher the sun became in the sky, the fainter and fainter her pulse was, like the moon going down, and then when the rays of the sun were like fully inside of the hospital room, she was gone. Like her heart completely stopped and she was just gone. And they had a do not resuscitate on her because her body was frail. But I was just looking at her, and her soul wasn't in her body, and I just realized like there's not a lot keeping us from the Lord except for these distractions here in the world. It's just our flesh that's separating us from the presence of the Lord, you know. And all my family, they was there, they were crying and stuff like that, and I was sad, but I was more so happy that she knows the truth now. I was more so happy that now she's in the presence of the Father. I was happy that she don't have to deal with the bullshit of going to work every day and dealing with bills and shit like that, being out here and like and now I don't have to think about her and worry. Like, I don't got to be like, oh, my mom this, when people here on earth, you got to think about them and make sure they're okay. But I don't have to think about her like that. I just got to be like, oh, she's with the Father, she good. And that's how it is. That's how it should be, because people put such a we're not supposed to die, but we the people put such a bad stigma on the transition of spirit going from this world onto the spiritual world. And we all go into the Father. When a person quote unquote dies, their spirit goes into the Father. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 16. It says, and moreover I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. And that place under the sun is here on earth. Verse 17. So that people, and that's not talking about under the earth like hell, the hell doctrine that Christians push. That's talking about here right on earth. This earth is a place of judgment. Verse 17. I said in my heart, God Yahweh shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time. It's like, for there is a time there, and every purpose, and for every work. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God Yahweh might manifest them, that they might see that they themselves are beasts. All right, and when you walk around this world not aware of who you are or who the Lord is, that's what you are, a beast, because you have no rules or no guidelines. All right. Beast. Verse 19, for that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts, even one thing befalleth them, as the one dieth, so dieth the other. We both die, animals and humans. Yea, they have all one breath, we all have one breath, so that man hath no preeminence above the beast, for all is vanity. If you don't live your life according to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, and don't follow in the footsteps of Yahweh Shai, and have faith in Yahweh Shai, all thy work is vanity, and you just pretty much living the same lifestyle as a stray dog. Verse 20, all go into one place, all are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. So that's what happens with our bodies. All right. Our spirit, all spirits go into one place. Our bodies are dust, and all turn to dust again. Verse 21, who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward? So the spirit goes somewhere. All right. So when when people see when people hear or see about, somebody dying, and their that character has died, that only that character has died, that energy, that spirit that was within that vessel, it's going somewhere. Okay. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? And you don't want to be of the earth. You don't want to have an earthly mindset. Okay. You don't want to be a brute beast in this world, just reacting off of your emotions or reacting off your carnal senses. Verse 22, wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what he shall be after him? And Salakia, I wanted to read some context for Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses verses 1 to 11. It says, by the necessary change of times, vanity is added to human travail. Verses 11 to 16, there is an excellency in Yahweh's works. Verses 16 to the rest of the chapter, but as for man, Yahweh shall judge his works there, and here he shall be like a beast. So let me get my next scripture. All right, this is Job chapter 3, verse 17. I'm going to read the prologue to Job chapter 3 to give some proper context. It said, Job curseth the day and services of his birth. Verses 1 to 13, it says, Job curseth the day and services of his birth. 13 to 20, the ease of death. From verses 20 to the rest of the chapter, he complaineth of life because of his anguish. And this is Job chapter 3, verse 17. It says, the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. All right. And before my mom passed, she was in a lot of pain. She was just in like a lot of physical pain, physical and mental pain. And her spirit transitioned into the presence of the Father. She's at rest. I know the Jehovah's Witnesses, they believe that when a person dies, that's it. And what's even crazier, they believe that a person is going to come back to life, but they also believe that after death is just nothingness. It's just darkness and voidness. But in the scriptures, it clearly tells us that the spirit goes upward unto the Father. All right. And there, not only do those who believe in the Lord, not only are they at rest, but the wicked cease from troubling. All right. And that's something, and that's something to be mindful of. All right, because Salakia. Hold on. And that's a beautiful thing, because ultimately, when we keep that in mind, we need to remember what they're going unto. Okay, so this is Revelation chapter 4, verse 1. And to give proper context, I'm going to read the prologue to Revelation chapter 4. It says, verses 2 to 4, it says, John seeth the throne of Yahweh in heaven. Verses 4 to 6, the 24 elders. Verses 6 to 10, the 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. Verses 10 to the rest of the chapter, the elders lay down their crowns and worship him that sat on the throne. So this is Revelation chapter 4, verse 1. It says, after this, I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven. And, Salaki. After this, I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven. And the first voice which I heard was was as it were of a trumpet, Salakia, talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will show thee things which must be hereafter. All right, and that has weight. It says, I will show thee things. The Lord said to John, I will show these things which must be hereafter. All right. So that transitioning is a real thing. All right. And this throne, this place of heaven is a real place that the spirit goes to when the spirit leaves the body, when the Father calls that spirit unto him. Verse 2. And immediately I was in the spirit and beheld a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. All right, and this is also another scripture to pull out to prove the color of Yahweh, Yahweh, and as well as Yahweh Shai, to show that they were brown skinned individuals. So, but right here I'm using it to say that, you know, this is the image that we should have in our mind when we're praying, and also when we think about somebody passing, going into the next realm. And there was a rainbow round about the throne. All right, that's what it was like. That's what it was like, in sight like unto an emerald. All right, and I'm gonna stop right there. But that's the image that we should have in our minds of the Lord, and being in His presence, like to truly put ourselves in that spot. All right, the Zaquan, Ahar one, the elder of this camp, he said, you know, we can time travel. All we have to do is just read the scriptures. Truly immerse ourselves into the scriptures. Right? In my next scripture. All right, this is Psalms chapter 103, and I'm gonna read the prologue to Psalms 103 just for context. From verses 1 to 15, it says an exhortation to bless Yahweh for His mercy, and from 15 to the rest of the chapter, and for the constancy thereof. Constancy. Hold on a second. Let me get that word. All right, so here's the word.
Constancy.
All right, and then it says the quality of being faithful or dependable. So it says, and for the dependableness or the faithful thereof. All right, so for those who believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. All right, so this is Psalms chapter 103, verse 13. It says, like as a father pitieth his children, so the Lord pitieth them that fear him. We have to keep that in mind. As long as we keep our fear unto the Lord, because fear is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom. And when you fear Yahweh, He's going to pity you. All right. Verse 14, for He knoweth our frame. He remembereth that we are dust. As for man, his days are as grass, as a flower of the field, so he flourisheth. For the wind passeth over it, and it is gone, and the place thereof shall know it no more. Right. So that's we have to keep that in mind. You know, people like to build up other people's lives so grandly. It's also grand. I don't think that's a word, but so largely, and not realizing that there's been so many other people who have perished before this person, and we need to keep in mind that the days of man are as grass. They say the life expectancy right now is 60 years old. I didn't even know that. I thought it was at least 100. You know, I thought at least, like in today's society, people can at least live to 100, but they say it's less than that. So it's not even a whole century anymore. All right, so people come and people go. You know, so we have to keep that in mind, and within that short time, people would rather choose darkness rather than light. And so in these times, we have to choose light rather than darkness because our time is so short. Okay. All right, this is James chapter 4. I'm going to read the prologue to James chapter 4 for some context. Verses 1 to 4, it says, we are to strive against covetousness. From 4 to 5, intemperance. I'm gonna look up the definition of that real quick. All right, it says
intemperance.
And she's not kind of cute. It says lack of moderation or restraint. Okay. All right, so prologue of James chapter 4, verses 1 to 4. It says the prologue, to give some context. We are verses 1 to 4. We are to strive against covetousness. From 4 to 5, intemperance. From 5 to 11, pride. From 11 to 13, detraction and rash judgment of others. 13 to the rest of the chapter, and not to be confident in the good success of worldly business, but mindful ever of the uncertainty, but mindful ever of the uncertainty of this life, to commit ourselves and all our affairs to God's providence. That's beautiful. I started reading these prologues to these chapters because they give a lot of great and beautiful context as to the scriptures. And I just want to read. It says, and not to be confident in the success of worldly business, but mindful ever of the uncertainty of this life, to commit ourselves and all our affairs to God's providence. That's beautiful. So this is James chapter 4, verse 14. It says, whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? We don't know what tomorrow comes. All right, we don't have something planned. Oh yeah, I got a little thing planned with this chick, or I got a little brunch. Like you'll have things planned, but we really don't know what's gonna pop off tomorrow. For real. All right, like the whole situation with my mother. I was finna go to work that morning. I was just finna go to work, and that be that. But all of a sudden, I got a phone call from my auntie. It was like, "Hey, yo, your mom on life support. You should come up to the hospital." I went up there, and she transitioned to the presence of the Father. I was like, "Okay, wow." Like it's crazy. We don't know what's gonna happen. Shoot, and within the next few hours, honestly. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. And that's ultimately what it is. We people are so caught up in this life, not realizing how small and how precious it is. People think they have all the time in the world, but we really shift the life expectancy here in this realm in America right now is 60 years. That's a little bit of time. That's not even a whole century. That's such a small amount of time. 60 years. That's such a small amount of time. But people would think, oh, I'll just put it off until tomorrow, and then they keep putting it off and putting it off. Next thing you know, they're 60 years old and they're on their deathbed, and now they want to give their life unto the Lord. No, the scripture say, let me get that real quick. All right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, and I'm going to read the prologue of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 for some context. Verses 1 to 8, it says, the Creator, Yahweh, is to be remembered in due time. Verses 8 to 13, it says, the preachers care to edify. From verse 13 to the rest of the chapter, the fear of Yahweh is the chief antidote of vanity. God, the chief antidote of vanity. All right. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. It says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. That's what we have to do right now. All right, we have to give 110% unto doing the will and the work of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Not being over righteous, not forcing things, not forcing this gospel upon people. We have to truly be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. We have to truly maintain our composure in this sinful kingdom. All right, and when our loved ones, or when people around us, when our loved ones pass away, or when people around us deal with the passing of a loved one, we ultimately have to comfort them with the scriptures. All right. So I pray and hope this lesson was edifying. And say shalom.